Welcome to the Scout Report, where I show you a promising player on Master League and take you through how the game develops them after 1, 2 and 3 seasons. After that, I'll show you how to get that little bit extra by being a little bit smart, sly and shrewd with the way you train them. If you find it useful, share it around, hit that like button and subscribe. All that good stuff. Let's do this. Alright, so the player that we are looking at today is Leon Bailey, a very talented winger, as we know. Plays left wing and right wing for Bayer Leverkusen, and he is the source of plenty of interest both at club and international level. Obviously, he's eligible to represent, I think, 4 different nations. I think he could represent, obviously, Jamaica, where he's played at under 21 level. Germany, apparently England, he's eligible through some kind of long-winded heritage, and I can't remember who the other nation is, but Leon Bailey is one of the young starlets that are kind of taking everybody's fancy right now in terms of European football, and he is one hell of a player in Master League. 84 rated as the game ships, and equally proficient at left wing and right wing forward, left footed. He's got that star player team role, and his initial market value is 18 million with a 23.8 million release clause, so you could get him outright for basically 24 million. Now, let's look at these skills. Obviously, Leon Bailey, well known for his pace, 94 speed, 96 explosive power. But he's also a very good dribbler with 85 and 81 on ball control as well. Decent finisher at 78, not bad for a winger at all. Wouldn't be too hard to push that up into the 80s. Swerve at 78 as well. He's got good body balance at 88 and a pretty good jumper at 80. Stamina at 78 still needs a bit of work, but it's pretty decent. That'll give me enough time on the pitch to cause any defender a serious headache, and he's pretty good with his weak foot as well, with 3 and 3. As for his player skills, we're talking about flip-flap, scotch move, long-range drive, knuckle shot, dipping shot, heel trick, pinpoint crossing, very important for a winger, no-look pass, and Malaysia, which is obviously great for winning those free kicks. Tactically, he's quite versatile, equally good at all attacking styles and all build-up styles. Attacking area wide, obviously as a winger, he's going to favour that. Maintain formation, and defensively, he's pretty much one-trap minded in terms of all-out defence, wide penning area, and conservative pressure. Right, now that we've got all of that out of the way, let's see what we get after year 1. So, after 1 year, he's gone up 1 overall point to 85. Let's have a look at what that means for his stats, or his attributes, should we say. Now, first thing to notice, that speed has gone up from 94 to a 95. His kicking power has also gone up by 2 to an 86, which is absolutely not to be scoffed at. And his finish has gone up to 79 as well, so it's good to see that he's working on that goal threat. Ball control gone up by 1, and has his dribbling. He seems to have made a lot of 1-point improvements, which would ordinarily count for something close to a +2, maybe even a +3 overall with that many improvements. But what it does do is it keeps his price down. However, he is developing very well. That unwavering balance and that jump are still as they were. But yeah, he's got a pretty good improvement in stats. Just that one in all those different places there. Key areas for a left winger as well. His attacking prowess also improving. And he's coming along quite nicely. Also, that stamina improving as well from 78 to 79. Once we get that into the 80s, he will be pretty much able to last almost a full game, which will be ideal because he's someone you're going to want on the pitch for as long as possible. Tactically, he's improving very well. Obviously, still in the areas that obviously Bayer Leverkusen will be playing. But he goes up to 89. That's a huge improvement from year 1. Well, that's pretty good for a 1 year improvement. Let's see what happens after year 2. And after year 2, another +1 overall to an 86 rated left wing forward, which is phenomenal. Let's have a look at his stats again. The attacking prowess, again up to 74, which is important. It means that he's going to make better attacking runs the higher that goes. Better attacking positioning, more alert, more proactive in terms of trying to make through balls happen, that sort of thing. That is what you want. You want that attacking prowess as high as possible for a winger, and any kind of forward actually. That finishing is now up to 80. +2 from his base, which is fantastic. And his passing starting to come up as well. His passing started off at 75 at base. Now it's up to 76, and that lofty passing is up to 74. It's only a +1 improvement, but we'll take it in both. His speed and explosive power haven't increased since last time out, but that kicking power is now up to 87. Bearing in mind that started off as an 84 as the game ships. That is one hell of an improvement. It's starting to become a real goal threat. You look at finishing of 80, kicking power of 87, and you'd be happy for that with most mid-level strikers, most good strikers to be fair. Anything outside of that kind of world-class bracket, you'd take those stats. And we're getting that on a left-wing forward who's relatively two-footed as well. And that swerve on 80 as well. Again, that starts at 78 as it ships, and is looking like he's developing very, very well. And definitely seems like he's a bit of a steal for what you can get him at early on. You get him for, what was it, approximately 24 million, was it? And his price now, he doesn't have a release fee in his contract. He's renewed that deal, so you cannot get him on the cheap. His market value is up at 19.5 million, but I can imagine you'd have to probably try and pay somewhere close to 30 to prize him away from a team. At 86 overall, that is one hell of a development. And that stamina is now at 80, which is that threshold. That's where you really want players. That's where you're going to start avoiding the fatigue when the stamina is at that level there. And you keep kicking on and you're starting to get someone who can last that full 90. Right then, let's go and see what he's like after year 3. And after 3 years, he's still at 86, which is interesting. I think he might plateau at this level, which, in fairness, is nothing to be sniffed at. An 86 rated left winger is still phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Let's have a look at the stats. Right, so it seems we've got a little bit of stagnation here from Leon Bailey. None of those stats really kicking on as much as we would have wanted from between year 2 and year 3. And that explosive power is obviously never going to kick on much beyond 96. Once you start getting to those 90s, it becomes harder and harder to improve those skills. And there's a waving balance up to 89. Which obviously it starts off at 88, so I mean, would take that. But again, no real improvement between years 2 and 3. And that is the same with his stamina. It's still at 80 as well, which is interesting. Now, if he plateaus at 86, you've still pretty much got a world-class left winger there. There's no shadow of a doubt there. Just because we didn't get that massive improvement, he is still only 24 years old. He's still technically on the edge of being able to get a dramatic improvement. I think that stops between 24 and 25, or at least becomes less likely. So there is still work that can be done on Leon Bailey, and he's still a phenomenal player. He jumps from 84 rated to 86 over the course of 2 years, and as the game would have it, he naturally plateaus at 86, but I believe you can kick on a bit further than that, and that's what we're going to get into now. So, as always, we are going to the training settings page, and we are going to use our good old friendly assistant Abu Ali. And what we have here are the training styles that will be available to a left wing forward, which Abu Ali is. Now, where I feel that you can improve on Leon Bailey, obviously he's starting to become a very, very good finisher. He's got that pace. You don't need to work on pace. Absolutely do not waste any kind of skills on that pace at all. He's one of the fastest in the game. You don't need to go and try and do overkill on that. What I would say is look at maybe trying to improve his passing, work on that dribbling as well. Those are really the only areas that he needs improvement on. Obviously, he's got that stamina as well. At 80, it's pretty decent for a winger. Keep him high up. Don't have him having too much defensive responsibility. He can't fulfill it anyway. He's terrible defensively. At base, he ships out at 56 and 59 for his 2 defensive stats, that being defensive prowess and ball winning. Almost as bad as abbreviated, actually, who we can see on screen right there. So I wouldn't really use any of these, simply because all of the ones that you would use for a winger, they waste some of that focus on either speed or explosive power, which quite frankly Leon Bailey has in abundance. You look at that creative playmaker, which you can use quite well out wide. It's wasting points on explosive power. You do get a bit of stamina with it, so it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But that would probably be, out of all of these, that would be the one I'd be most likely to give to Leon Bailey. I would give him that there, simply because it works heavily on his passing, works heavily on his attacking prowess, gives you a little bit of stamina, could get his weak foot accuracy up to 4 with that heavy intensiveness. Intensity. With that heavy intensity on weak foot accuracy as well. This, if you were to go with the training set in and you didn't want to go, you know, as standard as it ships, I would go with this one. Creative playmaker for Leon Bailey would be absolutely brilliant, and it would work on the stats not only where he's got slight weaknesses or areas to improve, it would also absolutely power up that attacking prowess massively, which is fantastic for a winger. Also, oddly, creative playmaker gives you a higher injury resistance, or at least it works on it, which is odd because I find that playmakers tend to be the most fragile footballers that you can get, but it's good. However, me personally, I would go and max out his dribbling. All in all, I'd max out his dribbling. If you were to go a little bit less dribbling focused, because he does ship with 81 and 85 as it comes, but obviously you'd be able to have that dramatic improvement level of training on his ball control, his dribbling, and that attacking prowess. However, it wouldn't hurt at all to work on his passing as well. So you could, if you didn't want to just go all out with dribbling, if you want him to be able to, you know, get a lot of assists, you could also go with a 3 passing and a 2 dribbling, and you would still pretty much get very, very good end results from that. You'd get an increase to his consistency by working out his form attribute, and also his weak foot accuracy would go up considerably, and you'd be able to get that 4 weak foot accuracy, which is so beneficial in this game. However, my ideal setup for this, I would say for the first 2 years, go with either creative playmaker, maybe classic number 10. I don't think classic number 10 is as good as creative playmaker, quite frankly. I'd go with creative playmaker for the first 2 years, let the game do what it does, give him that playing style as well, and then go into focus training and either max out his dribbling and get that attacking prowess, you know, flying through the roof, or go 3-2 with dribbling and passing. But that's it from me. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this useful. Leon Bailey goes from an 84 to an 86 in the first 3 years, and obviously it's down to you guys to see how much further it goes as you get throughout the game. But I would definitely recommend Leon Bailey. I would give him, I'd give him an A+ ranking as a signing. Definitely, you can get him for about 24-25 million at the start of the game. I would recommend, if you are planning on getting him, just shell that money out, because as we've seen, he signs his contract and that release fee is absolutely obliterated. So you will then have to pay through the roof for a player that you know is going to be absolutely world class. You can see it here. So I'd say spend that money on him early, get that development in, get him trained as a creative playmaker, then start focusing on him after, you know, 2-3 years and doing some focus training and a bit more of that in-depth stuff. But definitely an A+ rating. You've got a world class winger on your hands with Leon Bailey. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new and comment down below who else you want to see a scout report for. And until next time, take care. Peace.